A wonderful good morning from the Redondo Beach King Harbor Marina. I'm here to do another interview in my series Characters, People Who Have Something to Say. And I want you to meet my friend Bud. Good morning, Bud. How are you doing today?
I'm doing awesome, Guido. How are you?
Pretty good. So we're here with Bud on his boat in the Redondo Beach Marina. And as I said, this is a new series in characters, and I feel my friend Bud has something to say about life. So, Bud, why don't we start out and you tell us who's Bud? What's Bud doing? Where does he come from?
Okay, awesome. I'm flattered to be included in this series. My name is Bud, and I was born in Virginia, but I grew up all over the country because my dad worked for a chemical company that kept moving us every 4 years. Ended up high school and college in the Philadelphia area, and I graduated from Bucknell University in 1976 with a degree in accounting. Every year I'd gone down to spring break in Florida, and so I was looking for a place where the weather was nice, and I ended up in Manhattan Beach. Not a bad choice. After a couple of years in the accounting profession, I found a very successful niche for myself in the business world in a B2B, business to business sales, where I had a very successful 40-year career. And at the age of 61, I retired.
Well, Bud, you retired with 61. I guess it's everybody's dream to do that. And now that you're retired, what do you do all day?
Well, I had been a pretty heavy drinker throughout my career, and I came to the conclusion that if I had all the time in the day on my hands, then my drinking was going to probably get out of control. So I quit drinking and I quit working on the same day. And in the 5 years that I've been retired, I spend a lot of my time volunteering in the recovery community with Alcoholics Anonymous and Celebrate Recovery, a 12-step Christ-centered recovery program where I am a ministry leader presently.
This is quite a story, Bud, and very interesting. And I would like to know, looking back at life, what is your biggest regret?
Well, I would probably have to say that I bought into the hedonistic lifestyle of Southern California, and I let a lot of years pass, and I never settled down with the right woman to raise a family. All of my friends, many of my friends are parents and grandparents at this point, and I see the joy that they have in watching their kids and their grandkids grow up, and there's a little bit of regret there that I didn't follow that path. But every path has its own benefits to it, and so I can't say that I'm too sad about the way things have worked out.
And on the other end, what is Bud gonna be remembered for? What are your biggest accomplishments?
Well, I'd say my biggest accomplishment in the 40 years that I worked, my pre-retirement, was amassing enough money to retire comfortably without having to worry for the rest of my life. Post-retirement, I would say that it's my contribution to the recovery community and the things that I'm doing there. As I mentioned, a ministry leader at Celebrate Recovery. I'm also very active with the Saddleback South Bay Church in Torrance, where I lead small group ministry over there as well. So I'd like to be remembered as someone who gave back. My motto, if you will, is use your freedom to serve. And that keeps me busy and out of trouble, quite frankly.
Okay, Bud, now I got a couple of questions for you to really feel you out. What's your opinion about millennials?
Oh, my opinion of millennials. Well, I'm going to just observing some friends of mine and people around in my generation. It seems like there's a lot of, they call them boomerang kids. Kids in their 20s and 30s that have, rebounded and are sleeping in the extra room in the house or on the couch. I tend to have the opinion that the concept of hard work and developing a career and saving for their futures is not something that is resident in the heart of many millennials. They almost seem entitled a little bit. And I'm just not sure where this world is going to be when they get to be my age.
But what is it, or at what point do you find people annoying?
Oh, wow. I tend to get annoyed with people who don't respond to a situation the way that I would. It's something that I'm working on, and that's judging other people in my own half bushel, as my grandfather used to say. But I'm learning that expectations are resentments under construction. So if I manage my own expectations of how other people are going to respond to a situation, then I'm better able to not be annoyed by their behavior.
As you can see, we're doing this interview here on a beautiful boat in the marina. It looks like, but that's your hobby, your boat?
Yeah, well, I used to say that boating was my hobby. Now I say that it's boat repair and maintenance. But yes, this is my hobby.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about the yacht we're on?
Okay. Yes, technically it is a yacht. Yachts being 10 meters or more. This is a 32-foot Maxim 3200 SCR with a pair of 5.7 V8 engines down below. It sleeps about 7 people. And we can take as many as 16 people out to sea for a day of sailing. I bought it about 2.5 years ago, and I've learned a lot about boating.
But many people like myself, we would like to own a boat. What is your best advice for people who want a boat?
Don't? No, not really. There's a famous acronym among sailors that says BOAT, stands for break out another 1,000.
Perfect.
So just about everything that goes wrong with the boat is going to run you a good deal of money. And there's one particularly famous meme that I love today that I just saw, that is a picture of a man holding a $100 bill that's on fire, and it says, "If you can do this without crying, you might be ready to buy a boat."
Well, it seems everybody these days has a bucket list. What's on your bucket list, Bud?
My bucket list. Well, a friend of mine bought me a book for my birthday, 1,000 Places to Go Before I Die. And there's about 998 on there that I haven't been to that I'd like to see. Some of the beaches in Thailand, the canyons in Bryce in Utah, just to name a couple of the places that I'd like to visit. I think I would like to acquire a permanent mooring over on Catalina Island, which is about a 1-hour drive from here, out of this marina, so I could go to Catalina as often as I want and tie up whenever I want. I'd also probably like to find the right woman and settle down and get married, someone that I could grow old with and travel with and enjoy life with. And in regard to my volunteer work in the recovery community, it was be a dream to help launch a Celebrate Recovery, Christ-centered 12-step program in a prison in California. That's bucket list. I don't know if it's attainable.
That is very impressive. Very impressive. Thank you very much, Bud. It was great meeting you, my friends, and the entire YouTube community to meet you. And hope everything goes well. Thank you.
Thank you, Guido.